Welcome boys and girls to another video where we're talking about bottlenecks in next-gen games. So in this video we will be doing a couple of tests to see how we can overcome this issue of having bottlenecks. And the reason why this is important is because the PlayStation 5 CPU is weaker than a Ryzen 5 5500. So this makes sense why games on console are now locked to 30 FPS. So for our first test we are running high settings with VSync off. And now we must keep our eye on the GPU utilization. As you can see on the graph, we already have a bottleneck. For the next test, we will be locking the frames to 30 FPS. Now it's important to keep your eye on the GPU utilization in this test. Now see how locking the frames to 30 FPS did not make a difference. In the next test we are running high settings with the frame cap off, and what we're gonna do is increase the resolution. So now in this test we can see that the increased resolution does get rid of the bottleneck, but unfortunately at the cost of lower FPS. In this last test we are running the high setting with frame cap off and using FSR quality setting. On the high setting with increased resolution with FSR quality mode, we are back to a bottleneck. At this point it's clear that this software technologies does not solve the issue of not having the proper hardware. So with frame generation you are copying frames, and this gives you double the latency. With the resolution scaling you are going to a lower resolution, and this bottlenecks the CPU. At the end of the day, the only way to solve the issue is to have the proper hardware and run a native higher resolution. And in the last 10 years, hardware has not really increased in performance at all. But yet we have been charged astronomical prices for everything, with actual very little performance gains. So all this time where people has been wasting everyone's time, faking it till you making it, and lying, cheating and stealing, that has just ended up amplifying all the problems that we have today. So how about we actually try and solve real world problems like making faster CPUs at affordable prices? Or maybe the games industry must think about lowering the requirements so it can actually run on the hardware. And by now, if you haven't figured it out, it's time to drink a strong cup of coffee and wake up. Because right now, you are being schooled by the guy in mama's basement. Let's hope that we've learned something here today, and I'll see you in the future.
This ladder looks sturdy enough to climb. We ought to put it to good use.